Welcome to the Weekend Whip Around on the Esports YouTube channel, where we take you through the weekend's competitive League of Legends action across the 4 major regions and recap any big storylines and games you might have missed. Coming into this week, there was a clear-cut top 5 in the LPL, despite some worrying trends for a few of those teams. Well, clearly teams 6 through 11 had something to say about that distinction, because while Victory 5, Weibo, and RNG all clinched playoff spots, EDG, LNG, and Billy all dropped big games this week. 2022 has been a ton of fun in the LPL, but hark, what resoundeth on my door? Is that 2020? JD Gaming 2-0'd V5 on Friday to move into 7th, and much more terrifyingly, top esports cometh. The 2020 LPL Summer Champions subbed in Wayward and Mark at top and support respectively right after Lunar New Year and have won 6 in a row, taking down JDG, EDG, and Billy on their way to 6th place.
Coming out of a replay game out of nowhere, the top esports magic holds true.
Knight Tyson comes through in a big way as top esports with 5 members channeled down the mid lane. They'll move to 8 wins. They'll deny LNG from securing playoffs here today. Even Realm Warp into the fountain. And top esports continue their hot streak, 6 wins strong.
In a battle between the reigning MSI and Worlds champions, RNG took down EDG for their 3rd win in 4 tries over a fellow top 5 team, ending a brutal stretch of their schedule, in which they proved that they are to be taken just as seriously as the other elite Chinese squads. RNG also 2-0'd Weibo Gaming as top laner Bin beat up on his old team just as Weibo were welcoming Sword Art back into the lineup.
Way to a win on this one, the TP into the face. As once again, Wade just literally 1v1ing Angel. I'm not sure that's how the match was meant to go, but I don't think it matters how it's meant to go. All that matters is how it's going, and it's going real well for RNG. More than a kill a minute as they finish things off, and they dominate.
Tune in on Tuesday at 6 a.m. Eastern to potentially witness some LPL history. V5 mid laner Rookie has an opportunity to surpass Uzi for most LPL kills ever. He's 4 away and is playing against, of all teams, Uzi's Billy Gaming. In the LCS, this episode of Has This TSM Roster Iteration Won Another Game Yet? Yielded a resounding yes. Right after they upset Team Liquid last week, Golden Guardians fell to TSM, who doubled their win total with Academy mid laner Takeover subbing in for Kaido.
And TSM from 1-9 will find their 2nd win. They hope this roster works. The poke won't land, but the Nexus will still drop. There we go. The KDA is added 2, and TSM double their win.
Evil Genius's jungler Inspired picked only the 2nd Kazakhs of the year in top flight League of Legends, but it wasn't enough to stop the Cloud9 freight train as they rolled to their 6th straight win and kept pace with Team Liquid atop the standings, with Blaber and his 10-1-20 Player of the Week worthy performance leading the way. Cloud9 did lose to TL back in week 2, but they're on fire and are setting up a collision course next week for what should be the game of the split so far. So remember back when everyone was saying, oh, that T1 win over Gen.G, it didn't count, half the team was out with COVID, and well, they might not shut up just yet, because with ADC Ruler out due to a positive PCR test result, Gen.G called up their challengers mid laner Ophelia to play some mages in the bottom lane. And to his credit, it went alright, but fans might have to wait until these 2 teams potentially meet in the finals to see the full strength rosters collide. For now, T1 has taken another 2-0 over Gen.G.
He's gonna get tidied up, and now the flash forward, the Moonfall actually held on to here. Good knock up, but he's also got his Zhonya's. The Nona's gonna keep himself alive. Chovy trying to be the hero. He picks up an exhaust though, as Carrier will go down, but so will the enemy Nexus, and I think he'll take that trade as T1 secure another 2-0 and 13.
With their 2-0 over KT Rolster on Sunday, T1 tied the record that they set back in summer 2015 under the SKT banner as they moved to 14-0. In other news, the top 4 teams are in a tier of their own, but hey, Fredit BRION are on a 3-series win streak, so it's fun for them. We said last week that no one does miracle runs better than the LEC, and we were almost treated to an incredible one this weekend that would have catapulted Mad Lions into the playoffs at the expense of Vitality's super team. Mad went 3-0 this week like they were supposed to, but it was too little too late. Vitality clutched out a win over Astralis in their final game of the split to secure 6th place.
Vitality at the final port of calling. Lock the last
last remaining spot in playoffs, and they will face Excel in round 1.
That question mark at the end of Super Team, it's still a little bit there.
Meanwhile, Rogue took down G2 to lock up first place in the regular season yet again, and a little disrespectfully, if you're looking at just the standings, chose Misfits to be their opponent in the upper bracket. Reminder, Misfits finished 3rd. By extension, that means, of course, that we get El Clasico, Fnatic versus G2 in the first round of the LEC playoffs.